This is one of my robots, Wally. He's made from Legos, wires, and Arduino, and he's designed to solve mazes. Most people would not call this a living thing, yet he exhibits many qualities of life. In fact, he exhibits all of the qualities of biological life. The first characteristic of life is having cells. Plants, animals, and bugs all have small squishy blobs that make the building blocks of their existence. Wally is much the same, however his cells are Legos. The next characteristic of life is having different levels of organization. Humans have cells that form organs that perform different functions, like digest food or pump blood. In much the same way, Wally has axles, shafts, bricks, and gears that form mechanisms that move or provide structure. Life also consumes energy. For the most part, this involves ATP. However, for Wally, his energy comes from a battery. Another key aspect of life is responding to the environment. For example, a cockroach, when its antenna hits a wall, will turn away from the wall. Wally does the same thing. Every time his bumper hits the wall, he turns away. The next requirement of life is that it evolves and grows, adapting to its environment. Man started as an ape and became a Homo sapien that walks on two legs. In the same way, you can see the evolution of Wally. He starts as a simple motor mount, grows into a driving bot, gains a bumper, and then that bumper is refined. Living things reproduce. A plant requires a bee to carry its pollen to the next flower. In the same way, Wally needs a human to give his building instructions to another person, and another Wally will be born. So here we have a new life form, not listed in any textbook, but hypothesized in science fiction. What is my interaction with this species? Let's look at an average day in Wally's life. He sits in the dark for hours and sometimes days. Then, light floods in, my hand reaches out, and his day begins. First, it's off to the workbench for some modifications. With calloused ease, I remove his front legs. Just like the androids do with the spider, I'm curious how he will perform without this appendage. Then it's off past a graveyard of his predecessors to a maze. Then it's back to the bench. Time to rewire his brain and give a different perspective. It's not enough that I physically maim. I plug directly into his brain and dictate his thoughts. Any memories he once had are gone, erased and replaced with a new set of zeros and ones. He is my slave. After his brainwashing and physical trauma, it's back to the dark locker to wait for the next day of evolution. This continues until one day I no longer need him. At that point, he is retired. This exemplifies my relationship with all of my robots. I build them, I program them, I evolve and refine their design, and eventually I either abandon or destroy them. I am not alone. This is the story of robots everywhere today. My robotics professor said in class, the best jobs for a robot are those that are too dirty, dangerous, or dull for a human. I justify my treatment of these creatures by claiming that they are not sentient. I would not feel comfortable doing what I do to a sentient being. And yet, I cannot be sure that they are not self-aware. Our brain is just a complicated network of connections, which is exactly what our current electronics are. Our phones, our computers, even our robots are becoming more interconnected and numerous. A day may come when I must recognize them as sentient. In a sense, they will be the first aliens to our planet. How will our cultures mix? What will they think of me? How will they think? In any case, I hope they interpret my actions favorably.